I certainly see this distinction that Cash is making, and I do deeply respect him in his insight into spiritual matters far more than myself on that front. If he thinks that I don't think that, then that's just not true. I do think that in that sense, you are far more aware of these matters. And any language that I use is I do at least cognitively recognize that I am framing it within the prison itself. That there is this absolute awareness behind it that is not this. What I was trying to point to, I was making the distinction between sages and saints. And that's maybe an archaic distinction, and it has a lot of baggage with it. But one of the more quote-unquote saintly things, in my opinion, in existence would be the intention, when you understand it, that it's there, to develop through these stages of consciousness so that you're more effective in change making. The skillful means element of existence, so that the wisdom of, say, Christ was, teach me how to be self-sacrificing. In one sense, this developmental process actually does come with an element of egoism. You can see more, and from that perspective, there is a degree of kind of walling off, and I understand that it's almost a safety way of staying apart from. And but the other side of it is that maybe because of that you can make clear distinctions for people. But again, don't get me wrong, I totally, whether or not I can carry it more all the time, I do recognize that this is all within the prison of the relative. And it's probably true that I don't point to the absolute enough. What I'm trying to do in my own little world, and it's just, I'm working with only my friends really, is ease them towards that notion. I really don't see myself as, I don't get paid for what I do, and it's not, I find joy in thinking about these matters, and I do have my own practice. It's not that deep necessarily compared to some, for sure. And I agree in a certain sense. If you are talking to me directly, I don't know. I know that you are speaking more to a broad audience, but to a degree, I do have a sense of walling myself off, and I'm sure it does have some connection with traumas that I've experienced. I'm not saying that what I'm doing is the best way of going about life or anything like that. Of course, I understand that this is all somewhat contextual. But I guess on this front, just we're different values on this. I totally recognize and believe in the importance of humility and just practice. I'm not as good as I should be with that. I know that. This is a confessional. But on the other side of it is that I do take deeply, my practice in many regards is the attempt to, it's more of the wisdom direction, trying to find a way to speak these values in a way that resonates with more people. And in so doing, it is just the mind, and there is a degree of attachment that kind of is more easily occurring with that. But um, I am of the belief that you push it so far, and then at some point you recognize the kind of the comedy of existence through that whole process. So although it's maybe, I do believe it's sort of an unconventional path, actually trying to follow wisdom to its end is in some ways similar to the Zen practice of koans. But anyway, uh, I do, when I listen to you, Cash, I do find your insights good, and I appreciate them, even if we're in different opinions on some things. Sorry if you think I'm a spiritual pimp. That's what it is, I guess.